What's up, everyone?
What's up, y'all?
What's up? Hey, it's Cal Epson with Paranormal Investigations in Oklahoma.
Hey, what's up? This is Daniel Fogel.
And we decided to do a live feed, just do some questions and answers. Maybe play with the camera just a little bit, try to get us both in the shot. So if you're watching this, if you got any questions or anything about our ghost hunting or some of our investigations over the year, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And so any of our fellow paranormal investigators that are on live, we may try to sync you in with our live feed so we can all BS together. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that, but maybe we can get it figured out. So let's see who's on live with us right now. Kind of hard to see. Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, what a crazy year. We had a great investigation year this time.
Yeah, we went pretty hard February all the way up until late September. But we're going to go just as hard next year. But it's been awesome. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, we've had a blast. We got to investigate with the Wraith Chasers this year. And I tell you what, we did the Wichita down in Wichita, Kansas, we did the old Cowtown Museum, and it was stupid active.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very good investigation spot. We made contact with a spirit down there, and we make contact with this spirit every time we go down there, and it's of a soldier. We went also, besides the Wraith Chasers, we went with RIP Paranormal, and they're out of Texas, and their team leader, Greg, he gets contacted by the same spirit over and over again. And I guess the ghost knows that Greg is a just this a little bit. They know he was a soldier and he fought in the army. So the spirit has a rapport with Greg. And it's always the same thing. The ghost brings up being shot, being injured either in a war or in a battle. And he talks about his personal life. The ghost is upset because his wife apparently had an affair with some unknown person. But apparently he works around the town and some type of medical field. And for the longest time, we couldn't figure out who he was.
Right.
But I think we made contact with him. What was that building? It wasn't the saloon. It was the...
Oh, gosh. It was the doctor's office, wasn't it, upstairs? Is that where we...
Well, before that, it was where the stage and stuff was.
That's a where they put on like burlesque shows and stuff.
Yeah, it was a type of staging area. That's where we made contact with him. And we also made contact with him in the farmhouse. There's a farmhouse that's further out of the museum. Mm-hmm. But we end up going to the doctor's office, and it's upstairs. And the REM pods were just going off like crazy. The EMF meters are going off like crazy. And that used to be, besides the doctor's office, it was a dentist office. Mm-hmm. And then we got to reading because the EMF meters and the REM pods started going off, especially in this one particular area where there's plaques that are set up explaining who the doctors were, who the dentist was. And you won't believe this, folks. Right there on that placard, it talked about the dentist and how he was shot. And he was in the military. And all the pieces fell together. That we were actually making contact with the dentist that lived in that old cowtown. And that was...
It's awesome. And that's what makes it kind of worthwhile for me, too, is to get those kind of claims and get these names from this person coming through. You're sitting there having a conversation, and you can look over and see on this placard and piece it all together that this is a real-life person that you're talking to. It's awesome. And you can back it up with history. So it's pretty cool. If you guys are ever in Wichita, Kansas, if Old West cowboys, Old West towns, check that museum out. It is awesome. It's cool.
Yeah, that was definitely a great investigation. And like I said, we went with the Wraith Chasers off of television. It was we had a great time, and there was a lot of great teams out there. We investigated also with the team out of Kansas, and those guys are great.
Yeah.
It was a great investigation.
It really was.
And plus, another favorite of mine, we did the asylum in Broken Bow.
Yeah.
That was off the charts. That was a very good investigation, and it got very personal with some of us. It definitely got personal with him.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of activity when we first got in there. I mean, we did a live feed, and most people who follow us on Facebook, they know we do all our investigations live. And like literally, like we're just setting up the equipment, trying to get everything started, and then we end up making contact with the spirits like immediately. We did that case with the pit crew out of Lawton,
Yep.
and she had I think it's called a halo system. It was a type of spirit box, and the spirits were just coming in, just plain as day. Just we would ask a question, and they would just come back with just boom, right there. The answers were right in front of us, and you could hear it loud and clear. And like when it first started off, I could feel someone grab my arm, and it felt like a little old lady grabbing my arm because she was scared of something. Now, at this particular location, there is something negative there. It's not demonic, but it was a negative presence, and apparently the other spirits that haunt there are afraid of this presence. Now, this old place, it was multiple different things. I think it was used to be a nursing home, a hospital at one time.
They tried to turn it into a church at one point in time, which the pastor, they were building the church, he got so spooked and scared. They said nope, and they ended up building the church just down the street from the asylum because they couldn't deal with the asylum. It was a halfway house for teens. That's about it.
And we also brought our favorite psychic medium, Tammy Ross. She went along with us, and she knew nothing about the site, and everything she picked up on was everything, all the claims. She like in the section where they kept the children or the wayward teens. She picked up that somebody died there, and could tell that she felt a presence of kids maybe hiding in the basement area. And then we found out later that's where the kids used to hide out when they would get in trouble. It was a crazy investigation that night. It was very active.
And that's what's fun too, is as a case manager for PIO, a lot of the times I'm the only one that knows some of the history going in. And whenever I've got her, she comes along and we've got her coming to me and telling me this stuff, it just makes me so happy. It's just so cool because she can validate it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely great. It was a great investigation. It was a long drive. It was a 3-hour.
It was great until the end. When it got personal, that wasn't fun.
Yeah, we ran into what we call a damn soul. And basically what a damn soul was it used to be a human being who lived such a simple life for some reason. They're not either going to heaven or hell. We don't know why, but they have similar ability as a demonic entity. And usually with the damn soul, they draw a lot of their energy from demonic beings. They get a lot of their knowledge from demonic entities. And this entity went straight after him. He had some personal stuff that happened in his life, and this thing started dropping names. And it got to the point, he walked out.
I walked out. First time I've ever walked out of an investigation. It really knocked me on my ass. I'll just say that. This investigation really did. It was good. I was good up until the end.
And get this, folks. Rarely that a spirit follows you anywhere. And this particular night, it followed him back to the hotel that we stayed at. And we literally had to cleanse and exercise his room to get whatever this was out of his room. It set the alarm clock off. It was messing with the lights.
The alarm clock, for that record, wasn't even plugged in. When we checked it, wasn't even plugged in. And it straight up went off.
It just went off.
And I just kind of looked at him.
No batteries.
Right, no batteries. I looked at him and I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, if you haven't got a chance to be down there, I know over the Halloween season, hopefully that site did good because they use it as a scare ground as well. They make it a haunted house where people can tour and pay money to get scared, So hopefully they did good this year. We haven't talked with the owners. Oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's a great site. If you run a paranormal team and if you're coming to Oklahoma, I recommend going to the asylum, Broken Bow Asylum. It was great.
And that's what I was going to say too. Definitely recommend it. I think we will be going back for sure. Coming up 2022, probably have Pitt go with us again. It was a cool place. It was a cool place. I'm ready. I'm ready for this time. So.
Oh yeah, it was great. I can't wait to go down there. Where else? We done a lot of places. We went to the Iron Rose Salon this year. We got some activity at a salon. I was a little bit disappointed because that particular night, the salon is downtown Oklahoma City. Normally, when we investigate there at night, it's usually not very noisy, not very loud. But unfortunately, that particular night, for some reason, it was a busy Saturday. A lot of people are out, even late at night. It was the weirdest thing. So going through all the evidence and stuff at the Iron Rose, we were very disappointed that anything that we did on the first level for like recording wise was all contaminated. Like you couldn't tell the EVPs from people talking outside. It was horrible. Down in the basement, totally different story. In the basement area, you can't hear anything from the outside coming in, and we got tons of EVPs down there. One of the EVPs we did get down there, it sounded like ritual chanting. It was nuts. This particular building used to be like a doctor's office, a dentist office, and it's been several different businesses after that. So the Iron Rose, they rent the lower level of the building and have the basement, and then some other business has the upper level. Now, we haven't got a chance to investigate the upper level, but it's supposed to be just as haunted as the lower level. There is a portal on the site, or a vortex that's located there in one of the rooms where the spirits travel in and out of. But it was crazy. The EVPs we got out of there, the spirits were saying that the vortex was collapsing. The ritual chanting, Daniel, we got it on recorder where you can hear Daniel going down the stairs, and you could hear something coming back telling him to go back. Don't come down here type thing. That was nuts. It was Class A EVP, and it was as plain as day. The Iron Rose was very good. I enjoyed that investigation. And we've got a lot of EVPs out of there before.
Cool place.
Very cool place. That one time we investigated there, and the spirits don't like one of the neighbors. They'll call her out by name, and they don't like her because the lady doesn't like ghosts and spirits. And apparently she comes over to the Iron Rose just to harass the spirits. And the spirits won't hesitate and tell us this lady's name and that where she lives at, and to tell her to leave them alone. It's nuts. Where else did we go this year?
One of my favorite locations that we've done this year was actually in Tahlequah. Our last investigation was at a store called The Boulevard in downtown Tahlequah, Oklahoma. We didn't know what we were getting into when we went there. We got everything we could ask for, honestly, and some. It was awesome. Everything that I could want in an investigation. Good grief, we got to talk with mobsters, prostitutes from next door.
If it's brothel ghosts, they find Daniel all the freaking time.
It never fails.
Never fails.
I find them sometimes too. But that's a different video.
You're not as bad as Zach Baggins, but
no. But no, that was a fun place. Really cool place. A small location, but good grief, like I said, we got a bang for the buck pretty much. Like it was pretty active.
And we weren't expecting to find a lot because it's a little bitty location. It's an old location. Mm-hmm. But we end up finding out later that several businesses, if you've been to an old small town, all the businesses, they're all connected up in like one long freaking building, or they're stacked together. And each of the neighbors have some form of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
And we were in this little bitty location, and the activity was just popping. There's the client has a photograph of just her parents, and for some freak reason, the ghosts don't like her parents' photo being back there.
Right.
And she'll come back there and find it on the ground, or it's been moved to a different location, and she just doesn't know why. And then, like I said, making contact with mobsters, and it sounds kind of weird. Tahlequah, Oklahoma, why would there be mobsters? But if you grab through the history books, it's reported and noted in history that mobsters were in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Yep, and check this out too, y'all. So we use the ghost box or the spirit box. You guys have probably seen that whenever we investigate. 4 times did it say Al Capone. It was pretty awesome. Like I mean, that anybody that knows me, that makes me happy when we start getting Al Capone stuff coming through. But as small as that place was, I'm not crazy about investigating small places. That place, that's high on my list. Like honestly, it was a cool place.
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then the client herself has what I call, she's either empathic or something, and she really doesn't realize that she has empathic abilities. And a lot of the spirits that were there were actually trying to go to her and ask for help. And of course, with her not knowing that she has abilities, she can sense spirits and tell things are going on, but she doesn't know how to communicate with spirits. And so while we were there doing the investigations, the spirits were coming across the spirit box, letting us know that they wanted help, they wanted to cross over, and they wanted her help to do that. So we were able to cross over spirits, and we thought the investigation was done because, like, literally once the spirits all crossed over, the spirit box went completely dead, like nothing but static, no voices, no nothing coming across for several minutes, and we're like, and then it went completely dead, and we're like, that's it.
Right, and then, so like you said, it went completely dead. There was nothing. It was like crickets. Seriously, nothing. Our mobster buddies, I'm pretty sure, hanging around a little bit. They kind of came through after the fact. Those dudes, they don't want to cross over. They're still down here doing sketchy stuff. But
and that's when we found out. We like a little bit after that, the mobster guys started talking over the spirit box again, and then the ladies of the night, the brothel girls, started coming over. Now we don't know any of the history. When we go into a location, we don't ask the history. We don't want to know. That way, when we do the investigation part, if the client says, "Oh my gosh, you're making contact with brothel girls," da 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 da, and history happened. Well, that's what happened that night.
Yeah.
Because we're getting responses, and these ladies of the night were asking for money, asking for booze, trying to ask us to go to a room or something.
Follow us, is what they were saying.
Basically. Well, the client, she was like, there used to be a brothel next door. Well, it's tore down now. There's nothing there. I mean, dirt is on the ground. But she said, no, literally next door used to be a brothel.
Yeah.
And we're like, seriously? And I figured every little small town had brothels in them at one time.
Oh, yeah.
But it just kind of shocked me. Like, wow, downtown Tahlequah had a brothel, you know? And a lot of people don't realize Tahlequah is my hometown. You know, I'm from Park Hill, Oklahoma. You know, Tahlequah, I went to Tahlequah High School. So I was super excited to get to investigate my hometown. That was all my family's down there on my mom's side, and it was great. Another cool part about being down there in Tahlequah, we end up finding another site. So if you follow us on Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma on our Facebook page, we are planning to investigate. Be ready for this. If you watched where the red fern grows, and there's an old store in that movie, well, they filmed that movie down in Tahlequah, around the Ozark Mountains down there. We ate at that restaurant. It's a restaurant now, but it used to be the old general store. And that's literally like where my folks live. My parents lived way out in the sticks. So this old store is like way out in the field somewhere. But they made it a restaurant. She did, you know, the lady that owns the business, she doesn't get a lot of people to come down there unless they're wanting to see the store because it's been in a movie. But we went down there and ate, and she realized who we were. She recognized us off the internet, and then she was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys were Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma." And then she asked us if we can investigate her business, and we're like, "Yeah, sure. We like new sites." And she asked me, like, "Do you feel anything here? Do you sense anything?" And like for me, I don't go around telling people I'm a psychic medium because I'm not. I'm not a psychic medium. I'm just an empath. And I let her know, like, I sense that there's a male spirit here. He's wearing overalls. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's wearing red boots. And he's bald-headed and wearing glasses. And she just went, literally, she went, and she started freaking out. And she said, that was the owner of this business. He loved to play the fiddle. He wore red boots all the time. He wore overalls all the time. And we're like,
Yeah.
dude, you know. So she definitely wants us to come investigate the old store. But there's an old house. And I don't even know how old it is. It is pretty old, pretty ancient. And her family used to live in that home. Well, she turned it into an antique store. And she recommended us to walk through that old house. And immediately we walked through the door. The energy was in your face. Yep. It was thick. And you can sense the spirit of a lady there, like getting in your face saying, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah, it was like a rush. Boom, just boom, right in the face as soon as we walked in. It was nuts. It was nuts. I'm excited about that. As he said, stay tuned for that. That's coming in 2022.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited. And like I said, my hometown of Tahlequah, Park Hill, way down Old Qualls Road. I'm super excited. I can't wait to go. Hopefully the team is excited to go down there. I love new locations. I think that'll be great. We got a lot planned. A lot of people, if you don't know, I got a book out. Give me just a second. I'll show you the book. I don't know why I didn't grab it.
While he's doing that, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff planned. I'm already working on some pretty amazing sites that we have not been to for 2022. Here he comes. Here's the book.
Okay. Yep, the book is out. I know you're reading it backwards, but the new book is out. If you check out some of my TikTok posts or go to Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma, you'll definitely find the book. It's From Within the Shadows, Memoirs of a Psychic Medium. And I spoke about Tammy Ross, the psychic medium. I wrote this book with her. And it is our ghost stories of the investigations that we've done, where she has joined with us to do investigations. And a lot of people don't realize, like Tammy was on our team for a while, but she's now basically considered a consultant in the paranormal field because she's been doing this for such a long time. She joined with me to write this book, and it goes through and talks about some of the crazy investigations we went on. If you're big into ghost hunting, this is definitely it. I also speak about the demonic and some of the demonic cases and exorcisms I've been on. The book has pictures in it as well of some of our investigations and some of the responses that we got. Definitely a great book. Go to bookbaby.com. You'll find the book online. $20, guys. $20. We talk about crystals, stones, proper ways of doing cleansings and blessings to your home. Great book to grab, guys. And when we do these books, it's to share information. It's using it as a learning tool, a teaching tool. You guys are going to love it. We've already got a lot of people just begging for the book. People are really excited about it. And I want to thank right now the Wraith Chasers. Hey, thanks for help promoting the book, sharing it on your page. Love you guys, brothers. Man, you guys are great. We're super excited about the book. We got a YouTube page started, and we're going to be posting up some videos where we're going to go through the stories from the book and actually have the EVPs. You can hear from the case, see more photos from the site, the stories mentioned in the book. We're going to be posting up videos about that as well, but that's kind of a future type thing going on. And then we're planning for more book writing. We definitely want to try to find cases on old hotels. That's kind of the next thing, is booking cases for old hotels and old hospitals and prisons and stuff like that. I think that might be the next book.
With that being said, anybody that's watching this, if you guys know of any places that you would like for us to go or to check out, or any haunted places maybe that are not more known, hit him up on TikTok or Facebook. Kel Epperson, PIO on TikTok. or me, Daniel Fogel PIO on TikTok or Facebook. Hit us up. Let us know. We'd be happy to help. We'd be happy to go investigate these places. Shoot, we may not even know about some of these places that you guys know about, but we're happy to go.
Oh yeah, and if you run a paranormal team, we love Paranormal Unity. We like working with other paranormal teams, and there's a lot of teams out there that we want to work with, and we're slowly. Most of our investigations have either been in Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, Texas, and we're hoping we can kind of spread out.
We want to branch out.
Spread out a little bit more and go to different sites, go to bigger places and investigate. I like to go to the Sally House one time. I think that'd be awesome. Or the Tombstone, the Axe Murder House, Villisca, Iowa.
Yep.
We're definitely trying to broaden our horizon to get more out there. So
that stuff's coming, guys.
Oh yeah,
coming.
Super excited.
Yep.
And I got another cool tool today. Hold on one second.
Check this out. This is awesome. This honestly has been the highlight of his day, and honestly probably mine because it's that dang cool. Here it comes. Check this out, y'all.
All right. I'm a big Ghostbuster fan, and we went by the spirit store today. They were having a big sale. You won't believe what they had.
Come on, Egon.
Come on, Egon. Where you at, Egon? Check this out. PK, what do you call it?
PKE meter.
Yeah, check this out, guys. Check it out. And he goes around here, lights up and everything. I think it's haunted.
That was worth the wait, right? It's awesome.
You don't know how excited I was to get this. I was embarrassing Daniel live in the store when I found this. Close this up.
That's a true story.
I like prop stuff like that just for fun and gags and stuff like that. But I hear that some people will get these things and actually modify it where it picks up EMF. I don't know how they do it. I heard a Ghost Hunter team's doing that. They'll get one of these and somehow convert it. They'll get like a K2 meter and somehow integrate it with this so they can actually use it to check for high EMF and stuff. I don't know how they do that, but I think that'd be freaking cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I might have to talk with Jeremy Jones out of Texas. I mean, he runs his own business. He makes all the Ghost Hunter equipment. I bet that darn guy could make this thing actually pick up ghosts. Sorry, that was my highlight of the day. It's been great. We've been tired, guys. We're just exhausted. If you look at us, we're just exhausted.
We've been going hard.
And we're exhausted. Besides the ghost hunting thing, we got regular jobs too. And we're getting into the holiday season and we're just wore out. We're still trying to catch up on cases because we've been overloaded. We literally have cases like every other week.
Every other week. Like when I say we went hard from February till now, we busted it. Honestly, we busted it every other week. We had something. So time to couple months off, relax, take it easy, and we're gonna hit it hard again.
Next year. Yeah, I think it'll be great. And I'm trying to think what else we did this year. We've done so many cases, so many crazy places. Oh gosh,
Booth at the winery.
The winery
in
Hennessy. That we made contact with John Wilkes Booth.
Here's the thing, too, guys. On that one, we had very, very little information, and it was hard to find some information on that. Again, this is a place that we got more than we could want or ask for. We pulled up to this location, and they had a sign posted for, this is a location that John Wilkes Booth was known to have at one point lived, at least for a little bit. We didn't know that. So it was pretty cool. It was awesome. I mean, I was like about to burst at the seams wanting to talk to him whenever we found that out. It was incredible.
And the location is cool too. At the bottom level, it's kind of like a bar. Naturally, it's a winery, so that there's a bar area and a pool area and stuff like that. We didn't get a lot of activity from the lower level, but on the second level was an apartment set up, which has been there forever. And so the story goes that John Wilkes Booth apparently came to Oklahoma and he um, hid out here in Oklahoma in that apartment building and went by a totally different name. Of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I mean, we all know what the history books say about, the military, the Union military arrested him, but there's some stories of, there was a guy out there claiming to be John Wilkes Booth and actually like snuck away and they caught the wrong guy. But the recordings that we got out of there was just amazing, especially the spirit box responses. The spirit came across and said something in Latin, and it was the same phrase that John Wilkes Booth said after he shot Lincoln and jumped off the banister onto the stage. If you remember your history, he like stood up on stage and yelled some speech or yelled something out to the crowd that was in Latin. Some people thought it was Virginia's state motto or something about being against tyrants, and that was what we got across the spirit box. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of our equipment lighting up, EMF meters going off, REM pods going off. It was very active on that level. That was crazy. We had a guest investigator that night, and I'm trying to remember what town she lived in. I'm kind of brain farting because I'm kind of tired. Been on work all day.
I don't remember.
It's not Anadarko, is it?
No.
Shoot.
Sorry. I can't remember.
I'm tired. Sorry, guys. But she does TikToks as well. And if you go on my TikTok feeds, you'll see me doing investigations with her.
Kingfisher. That's where she lives.
Yeah.
It just hit me.
Yeah, Kingfisher. And she joined us on that investigation. That was her first real live paranormal investigation. She does her own live feeds from a museum, like an old house in Kingfisher, but she doesn't have a lot of experience in ghost hunting, so she just kind of does it by herself. So she got to join us that night because she likes to film all her investigations on TikTok. And I think it kind of woke her up a little bit too about some of the craziness that we went on. Yeah, John Wilkes Booth. That was a long drive too.
That was a long drive.
We were tired.
Good investigation. Good investigation because, I mean, shoot, we did not know we were going to get in contact with John Wilkes Booth. So
we weren't told.
No. That makes it just so worth it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would drive 3 hours and then find that out. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying?
We did the Blackwell, Oklahoma. We did the Prairie Dogs. Prairie Smoke. Barbecue place. That was active. We're still going over the recorders on that. And the ghost there down in the basement area threatened to break her legs.
Yeah.
That was a very active location too. We had equipment going off, and we're still going through all the recorders on that. We had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, they were reviewing the recorders and evidence. We got some pretty good EVPs, some Class A, some B, a lot of C. Some stuff going on though. That I would say is one of my favorite places too. That was a cool place.
The brothel girls.
Again.
They always find him.
Again. Which is fun. I'm not complaining. That's my stuff.
And I guess we found out later on there was a brothel across the street. Yeah, we did.
That building is still standing. We can't get into it. If you drive by it and look at half the building, it's about to fall in.
Yeah.
So I would, as much as I would love to, can't. Sorry.
Let me see. We did the Chandler Museum. That one was a good one too.
That was a good one. And again, I don't know what it is, but we had brothel girls that found me there too somehow.
And I don't think they knew. I'm trying to remember. I think in Chandler, I'm not sure if they had a brothel there. Most towns
I'm sure
did.
They did.
Most did. And usually at this location, we never make contact with brothel girls. Now, the location we investigated used to be like an old mercantile building and a bakery. And it's now a huge museum. So there's tons of antiques in there. So most of the hauntings there are attachment hauntings to the items in there. And I'm sure there's old dresses and stuff that probably from brothel girls, or it could have been the location there. I know at that location in Chandler that we made contact with a spirit that was shot and killed in the street. And we thought that was kind of odd. Like, I wonder if that actually happened. Then we end up talking later to somebody that was a historian and said, yeah, there was a guy that got shot and killed right there on the corner of the street. And we're like, whoa. That's one thing I love about ghost hunting. It's you're digging into history and you're finding out things that happened that are not common knowledge. You know, we go out and investigate, we find out something, and then we go research it and found out it was true. And it's like, oh my gosh. And some things, my favorite investigation, it wasn't this year, but we did the 45th Infantry Museum, and we had a psychic medium with us. And whatever she detected, whatever she discovered on that investigation from her abilities, the curator of the museum was like, I don't know how you found out this information because you have to have military clearance to find it out. So she picked up on a spirit that called himself the Butcher back in Vietnam, and he apparently built the chapel there at the 45th Museum, which used to be a like basically infantry place, barracks and stuff like that. And she said that this particular spirit was buried in a cemetery nearby, which there was, which we didn't realize there was a cemetery near there. And he told us later during the reveal, he goes, I don't know how she got this information, but you have to have military clearance to get it. And we were like, there you go. You know, it's amazing with people we investigate with. I'm not real big into psychic mediums. You know, if it's somebody that is a psychic medium, they really have to prove it to me. Most people make false claims of their psychic medium or whatever, and most of them are just making up stuff. But there's very few people I can say, yeah, trust this person. You know, Tammy Ross is definitely one of the top psychic mediums out there. Dee Parks from IOKP. She is like one of the best psychic mediums I've ever ran into as well. And it's amazing some of the stuff you discover investigating with a psychic medium.
We did leave one off. Another location we did this year, actually. I can't believe I forgot this one. It's been a little bit since we've been there. It quickly became a favorite of mine personally, but not only that, it became a favorite of the entire team. I don't have to beg them to go. Flower Bluff Manor.
Oh, that
place is awesome.
A lot of activity at that.
We love that place. We love that place.
Really?
God, we haven't been there in months. It was like we used to go we went 2 or 3 months in a row at one point, but we haven't been there since probably May. So. And
that location, they actually have other teams come and investigate. They got apparition photos out of that location.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't caught any apparition photos from that location. Tons of EVPs. We picked up little kids' voices out of there, a woman's voice out of there. Yeah, we get a lot of EVPs out of that location too. And that has a lot of history to it, you know, about the mistress and how she lived across the street in the house next door, and how there was a tunnel from his manor to the mistress's house. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's cool.
Yeah, Flower Bluff was good. We definitely are going to go back to that one. Did the Jefferson Hotel down in Texas. That was a good investigation. I went down there with Tammy Ross. That was wild. When I went down there, I didn't get my room at the Jefferson quick enough, so I ended up having to get a hotel room across the street at the Excelsior, and it's just as haunted as the frickin' Jefferson Hotel is. The room I stayed in at the Excelsior was stupid haunted. Like I was laying in bed and gotten woken up, and it sounded like somebody was having a party next door, and I could hear somebody saying, "Hey, bring the champagne." And I'm like, what the heck? Why are they being so loud? And I just kind of like, well, I'm not getting out of bed to go tell them to be quiet. You know, there's probably nothing I can do about it. And of course, at the Excelsior, when they don't keep anyone at the customer service all night. Like once you check in, they actually give you a key to the hotel. So if you leave the hotel, the door locks behind you. And then if you want back in, you put the key in and you go back in. But they don't keep anyone there overnight. So that next morning when I was leaving, I was like, hey, I don't want to be the the complaining guy, but just to let you know, whoever was across the room from me was being super loud. I don't know if they were throwing a party or what, but somebody asked for champagne, and she's like, I don't think no one was in your room across. You were the only one up there. And I was like, no, 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 no. It was somebody was throwing a freaking party up there. And she's digging through her paperwork, and she goes, there was no one next door. There was no one next door, next to your room or across. You were the only one on the floor. And I was like, okay, if I would have known that, I didn't have no idea the Excelsior was haunted. And apparently they don't promote it. And I didn't realize I was the only one on that floor. And just to hear that, it literally sounded like a party. And somebody asking for champagne. And she was just kind of like, wow. So that was crazy. But the Jefferson had a lot of activity. Tammy Ross, when she was there during the day, they get an activity during the day. And, Tammy Ross was on her phone, FaceTiming her husband, and she's in the room by herself, and her husband's like, who's in the room with you? She's like, I'm by myself. And he goes, no, I literally saw a man walk behind you. No, I'm by myself. But on that FaceTime, he saw somebody walk behind her. That was pretty wild. The museum or the hotel is almost like a museum. Jeremy Jones has got tons of different antiques and stuff there. He's got a very haunted doll that's there. And you can really go up to the doll, even during the day with your spirit box, and whatever entity that is possessing that doll will communicate back with you. Some people have witnessed this doll like move its head around, look around. You can get EVPs from the doll. And we went there with the Wraith Chasers. That was freaking awesome. Yeah, that was a fun investigation. We got to hang out with those guys and rip Paranormal, and we investigated the Jefferson. And it was active during the day, active during the night, and we got to go upstairs. Jeremy Jones opened up the attic area and realized there was a hidden room. And a lot of times when old buildings had a hidden room, they were for a purpose. So it was usually if you had a family member that was special needs or a problem child or something like that, they used to lock people away in these secret rooms. And when all this was sealed up, and when he was able to gain access to it, he found an old bed up there. Obviously, somebody used to stay up there.
A lot of times, too, kind of to piggyback off what you were saying, secrets. So a lot of affairs and stuff back in the day, if you were a person of power and you had an affair, they didn't want that getting out. So they would lock their mistress up in a room to keep her a secret. Mm-hmm. There's the Skirvin in downtown Oklahoma City is that's a big claim there. But yeah, like you were saying, secret stuff. They would put them up in the room, whether it was a kid, a relative, a mistress, somebody that they just did not want out in the public. They wanted to hide away.
Now Jefferson also is Jefferson, Texas, is known for Bigfoot. A lot of Bigfoot people go down there. People claim to see Bigfoot down by the river down there. There's supposed to be a ghost in a blue dress that haunts down there near the Jefferson on the river. A lot of ghost stories down there. A lot of Civil War spirits are seen down there. Either mainly Confederate soldiers are seen in that area. Yeah, it's been an active year. We had a lot of fun, and we were definitely keeping busy, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of cases. We didn't get a lot of residential cases this year. It was very slow for residential, and I think a lot of that's because of COVID. We just didn't get a lot of calls to go into people's homes. A lot of times we do, either for exorcisms or cleansings or just to find out what's there. But this year, not too much.
And we are open for that, guys, too. We don't do just businesses. We'll go to houses. Like I said earlier, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. There's a place I'm working on right now that's very near and dear to my heart. I'm trying to get us into. So, my phone's blowing up. But we greatly appreciate everybody that watches us and supports us in our investigations. We're having fun. We hope it's fun for you guys. Sometimes we go places too, and you guys actually help us find evidence. You'll say, hey, did you see that? Or hey, did you hear that? And we're like, oh, we'll have to go check that. Or we might hear it at the same time that you do. So, again, thank you for the support. And stick with us. for 2022 because it's going to be awesome.
And one thing to keep in mind when we do we do mainly our live feeds off of Facebook. I try to do it with TikTok. I like doing it with TikTok, but I think most of our followers are on Facebook. We try to do live feeds off TikTok and Facebook at the same time. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But most of our live feeds have been mainly through Facebook, and it's just because the majority of our followers and fans go through that. Now, one thing we try to get across when we do our live feeds, we're not trying to be famous. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to go out and help people. When we do our investigations, we try to educate people who are new in the paranormal field. You know, the investigators I have come on to my team, they're there for training purposes, and I'm trying to get them prepared to start their own team one day. And then people are like, well, Kel, you kind of have a high turnover rate. Well, that's because I'm training them so they can go out on their own. That way they can go out and start their own teams. And some of them done that. You've seen team members that used to be with us be split off and they'll have a whole new team. And that's great. I'm glad they were able to do that. And with the live feeds, like Daniel was saying, you could actually get on our live feeds when we're doing an investigation. You might hear an EVP, and you just type it in the comment section and say, hey, guys, we hear a lady's voice in the background, or we heard growling. We heard a response to your question, because we may not hear it live, but you guys are hearing it through the phone, and it's just another IT device, instrumental trans communication. It's and we do it for training purposes. It's like me writing the books with Tammy. We're doing it for training purposes. We're not out trying to be famous. You get a lot of ghost hunting teams that's what they want to do. They want to be famous. They want their face on television. They want their face on the internet. And to me, it's just another tool. If with us going out with the rave chasers, it's just for training purposes. Those guys are great to give their time and inviting us to join them on their cases, just to share the experience. Because when you're watching our live feeds, it's all legit. It's all in your face. If we're bored, you're bored. Mm-hmm. If it's exciting, you're exciting. When you wait, who's that? Hey, Jessica. There she is.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Jess? But yeah, when you watch us live, you see what we see, and people are like, "Well, you guys are not like the TV shows." Well, yeah, we're
real.
We're real. It's live. If there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on. Yeah.
We don't have anything to prove to anybody. We're not looking for ratings. We're out here to prove or disprove a haunting, basically.
Yeah. And most teams that go out there and try to be famous, they usually die. Yeah. And I usually try to tell, when I'm training new team members, if you're just doing it to be famous, it's like trying to get into the music business. It's 1,000,001 chance you're going to get discovered. It's 1,000,001 chance somebody's going to find a ghost hunting team and put them on television. It's very rare.
And that's the thing, too. That's another thing that Kel will tell new team members when we bring them on and stuff like that. And even the clients, when we go, we can't make the ghost or the spirits act out. We can't make them show themselves. We can't make them do stuff. If it happens, that's great. But 9 out of 10 times, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, they just don't jump when you tell them to jump.
They're not trained SEALs, I guess would be the term.
And one thing you keep in mind when we're dealing with ghosts and spirits, they were people just like you and me. We don't go out and antagonize. We don't provoke. We don't get in their face and call them out. We don't do any of that stuff. And again, with watching our live feeds, that is the purpose of it. We're trying to train the next generation of ghost investigators.
Right. And
the field changes every day. We all have different theories. There's not a written book that said this is how it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. There never is. And a lot of people don't realize when with us investigating the paranormal, technically, scientifically wise, there's no proof that ghosts exist.
No.
And I make ghost hunters mad. Don't say that. I have this happen and this happen. Oh, okay. Well, stuff happens to us too, but we consider that an experience. Wow, I got EVPs. I got EVPs. Okay, well, I get EVPs too, or electronic voice phenomena. I can prove that that exists, but I can't prove it's ghosts making those voices. I can't prove it's aliens or Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster that's communicating with us. Uh, that's where more research, more investigations and stuff come in the hand. And I make a lot of people mad. I'll be at a paranormal conference and be like, "Yeah, there's no scientific proof that ghosts exist." People get mad. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's true. It's true. If there was actually a physical proof out there, I don't know. We probably wouldn't be doing too much of this. No, I would be. I'd still be out there being crazy.
I love it. I love it, man. And I wouldn't change it. Honestly, I wouldn't change what we do. There's nothing about our team that I would not change right now. Honestly, I've done this for a while. Kel's done this longer than I have, but I've done this a while. This by far, I've been on a few teams. This is by far the best team I've been on. Guys, if y'all are watching this, by the way, get ready. We're gonna hit it next year. So.
I'm excited for next year, guys. Oh, I'm super excited. We've been just hitting it hard. We are currently, if you're in Oklahoma right now, especially in the metro area, we're looking for an extra evidence tech. Just kind of help us review EVPs and go over some of our data. And one thing you got to keep in mind when we do this is we do it voluntarily. Yeah. It's not a real job. No one gets paid. All the equipment and stuff comes out of my pocket.
And now is the time, like he's saying this, now is the time to, if you want to do this, jump on it. Because this is like our downtime. We're going to be down for a few months here because of holidays and work schedules and stuff like that. We're going to pick back up probably February, weather depending, March, something like that. But we're going to have some downtime. So if you want to do this, again, hit us up, hit Kel up, hit me up, Facebook, TikTok, it doesn't matter. See if we can get something set up. Be serious about it, though, because we need help with that.
But if you're interested in joining Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma as a evidence tech and willing to be trained, just contact us through the Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma Facebook page, through the messenger, and just say, hey, that you're interested, and then we'll set up an interview to sit down with you and see if you'll be a good fit for the team. Of course, naturally, we have to go through our regular team members to see if they're interested. And so far, I don't think we really found any of the other investigators that are interested in taking that position, just because it is a lot of work to having to sit down, review all the data. It takes a lot of time, but it's fulfilling, especially when you find something.
Well, and here's the thing, too, and I should have added this a second ago, and I completely forgot until now. So, evidence tech. That's cool. That's a good job title. But guess what? If you want to investigate, you still can. Yeah. You can still investigate also. That's not just all you're going to do. I'm the case manager, but I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there investigating every time. So, come on.
Yeah. Let's see. Jesse said, let's go back to Vernost Winery.
We were talking about that.
We're going to plan it again. If you want to go, we'll definitely
talking about that.
And we still need to hook you up and investigate your location, Jesse, at that old manor. We still need to get hooked up with that. I think everybody online would love to see us investigate that location. It was her location she's at. That was... During the day, it was active. We were getting activity during the day. You can go back through my TikTok feeds. You may have to go back a while, but you see me and Jesse investigating this location by ourselves, and it was very active. It was great. Super excited. Hopefully, we get some new equipment. It's always coming out, so hopefully we can find some new equipment to come out with. We usually use the same old stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited. Can you think of anything else right offhand? I don't want to hold up anybody's time.
I don't think so. We may be doing this from time to time, guys. Holidays are coming up. Enjoy the time with your families. Yeah, hit us up on Facebook.
We'll try to get more of our team members to see if they'll go live with us. Hopefully they're not too scared of the cameras. They don't mind filming during the investigations. I don't know if they do a bunch of live stuff, but we'll try to, because people are always like, where's Willow? Everybody's looking for Willow. Or, You know, they're always looking for
Caden.
Caden. What is it with Caden? Do you guys love Caden more than us? I mean, come on.
Sorry, y'all are stuck with us. Just saying.
The ghosts look for Caden. It's crazy. We'll go into an investigation, and the darn ghosts will be saying, "Where's Caden?" Like,
He's not even there.
He's not even there, and I always
not even there.
And we don't know why they ask for Caden.
No.
If you watch any of our live feeds, you can hear the spirit box where the ghosts are asking for Caden. We don't know why they're asking for Caden.
Unless it's a brothel girl.
Yeah, and then they ask for Daniel.
That's in mine.
But yeah, they're always asking for Caden. Yeah,